but we haven't done it. You know, we got some good news from the lawyer this week, so we might as well celebrate. And this is my brother from another mother. I love you. We're gonna go to China together. One day, and I'm gonna be live. So Hank, how like don't say too much about the strategy, but tell them, what does the lawyer feel about this?
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the law itself is also ridiculous because it just says embarrassment. It does not specify it. So the entire standard is determined by the law enforcement themselves, which makes the case really weak.
Really weak. And we have young man and I don't even want to say it. It's so disgusting, nasty. Both showing the images on their live streams as well. Guys, thank you guys. You were getting charged for at least 5 years. We'll see. The people that won't be charged have done a lot worse than me, guys. Thank you, JJG.
Things are really spiraling for Johnny Somali and Hank Yoo, and South Korea is feeling like a total nightmare for them right now. Why am I even saying that? At the moment, it seems like South Korea and its people are turning away from Johnny Somali and Hank Yoo wherever they show up. It's tough to see that even Hank Yoo's family isn't backing him up anymore. With no steady income, how is he going to manage Johnny Somali's expenses and his bills at the same time? With no money and no financial support, Hank Yoo finds himself in a challenging situation. How might he address this situation? He's pretty much out of options at this point. The only thing left might be to join a gang, get into some trouble, make some quick cash on the side, and then use that to help out Johnny Somali or whoever he's staying with. I'm not really sure if Johnny Somali is his wife or not. If you have any idea, just let me know. Alright, let's get back to the main topic. I wanted to bring attention to the fact that we are approaching a significant milestone. It appears that Hank Yoo may be removing Johnny Somali from his position in the near future. Yep, that's correct. It looks like the breakup is pretty much official now. It's happening right now. So, what do you think is going to happen next? This month, Johnny Somali has a trial on the horizon. That's tough news for him, especially since he's dealing with new charges and some extra ones on top of that. What are your thoughts on the potential outcomes if Hank decides to ask him to leave this time? Johnny Somali could find himself living on the streets, day and night. Do you think that's possible? If he is on the streets, it is unlikely that people will simply ignore him. It seems they may take action to remove him from that situation as well. By the way, what is the most recent update regarding Johnny Somali and Hank Yoo? It appears that authorities may also remove him from the streets. Hey, what's the latest with Johnny Somali and Hank Yoo? Any updates? In this video, we're going to dive into everything and break it all down for you. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, Hank Yoo is really getting himself into a lot of trouble. He's not getting any support from his family, and he's also without a source of income. His school will soon suspend him for his bizarre and disgusting behavior. So, you've probably heard that Hank Yoo got kicked out of his gym membership. Stay tuned as more updates about other places terminating his membership are imminent. Johnny Somali's actions have significantly worsened Hank Yoo's situation. What's Hank going to do if he keeps running into more problems and still doesn't have any cash? What approach will he take to manage Johnny Somali's expenses this time? It appears that Hank Yoo is definitely going to evict Johnny Somali from his house, and this will happen very soon. It's not only me who thinks this. Legal Mindset has brought it up as a concern before. I understand your perspective, but I'm not entirely satisfied with the current state of affairs. Honestly, when I mention that Hank Yoo has been involved in even more criminal activities, I really mean it. However, the South Korean authorities aren't taking any action against him. It seems like everyone's just looking at Johnny Somali's situation, but what about the fact that Hank Yoo is backing him up? Isn't it worth noting that Hank Yoo was the one who first encouraged him to commit these crimes? If the South Korean authorities are planning to hold Johnny Somali accountable, they should also consider why he acted the way he did and who might have been supporting him. Hank Yoo should definitely be held responsible as well. I really think it would be a good thing if the authorities actually did that. Honestly, it seems like South Korea is hesitant to get involved with Hank Yoo for national reasons. They're just trying to avoid any trouble that could come from it. Well, this is just how the authorities see it. It seems like the folks in South Korea are really turning away from Hank Yoo all over the place. It's the officials who keep behaving differently, and honestly, I have no idea why. If you have any thoughts, just share them with me. This time, I'm totally on board with the legal mindset. If Johnny Somali is a criminal, then you can bet Hank Yoo is one as well. He played a big role in shaping Johnny Somali into who he is today, so he should definitely be held accountable too. What are your thoughts on that? Just give me a shout when you can. Wow, can you believe it? Only 15% of people think Hank is worse. As I mentioned earlier, Hank is definitely an underrated criminal, right? You all know what I mean. Honestly, I think both Hank and Johnny share the blame here. There's something pretty surprising that many folks overlook, and you might not catch it either if I didn't point it out. Alright, let me explain it to you. You know, I've mentioned it before, but I really think Hank Yoo doesn't get the credit he deserves in all this. He's the guy who got Johnny Somali to commit those crimes, and Johnny went ahead and did them. What kind of consequences did Hank end up dealing with? There were no repercussions. He didn't face any consequences, and it's like no one even brings up what Hank did. Johnny Somali lost out on that opportunity, while Hank remained unharmed. Here's an example for you. In the last chart, they used a warfare act against Johnny Somali. Absolutely! About that video chat thing with Hank Yoo and Johnny Somali talking to underage girls, the South Korean authorities basically said, "We don't go beyond our borders, and we don't have laws for that." So, they pretty much just turned a blind eye to Hank Yoo. Alright, that's cool. Well, if they're not interested in taking the case, that's one thing. But you know, they could have at least given Hank Yoo a heads up. I should have told him not to pull a stunt like that in South Korea again. But seriously, they didn't even do that. They just told me that they're not going to take Hank Yoo's case, and honestly, that's pretty worrying. So, why am I bringing the issue up? So, you might have caught this from Legal Mindset, but their poll revealed that around 15% of people think Hank Yoo shares some blame, while a solid 75% are pointing the finger solely at Johnny Somali. That's exactly it. Hank Yoo doesn't get the recognition he deserves. People often label Johnny Somali as a criminal, but have you ever stopped to consider how he ended up in this whole situation in the first place? It's all about Hank Yoo. So, what's going on now? Hank Yoo is having some financial issues. Hank Yoo appears to be considering evicting Johnny Somali from his residence. Just like Legal Mindset mentioned, the breakup is definitely happening, and it's coming up soon. And you know what? Even more things are starting to come back up now. Have you had a chance to see those controversial videos circulating online again? They're really showing a different perspective on things. Absolutely, that's correct. It seems like things are just getting messy, doesn't it? This is the video where Hank visited the prosecutor's office about Johnny's case, and the comments he made are awful. As you just saw in the video, Hank Yoo was actually lending a hand to Johnny Somali with his case. Hank Yoo took care of everything for Johnny Somali, covering all his expenses, even the legal fees. I really think it would be awful if Hank ended up totally broke because of Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali nearly drove Hank to the brink of bankruptcy. I just want to highlight why Hank pays so much attention to Johnny. Hank's got a bit of a criminal mindset going on within him. That's why he offers a place to another criminal. They both need to be held equally accountable. I'm not really a fan of Hank, and I feel the same way about Johnny Somali. Neither of them are great. If Hank really does kick Johnny Somali out of his house, that could actually turn out to be a good thing. If this criminal duo splits up, it's like a breakup in the crime world, and who knows, Maybe that'll help put an end to some of the chaos they keep stirring up together. When these two are in each other's company, it's inevitable that they will cause trouble and engage in various nefarious activities. Absolutely, both of them need to take responsibility. Honestly, Hank seems to be getting into more trouble every day because of Johnny Somali. It's probably a good idea for him to kick him out. What do you think about Johnny's intentions? Before, Johnny was saying he's not worried at all. He was really confident that his lawyer would bring him some good news, and he seemed to act like he had nothing to stress about in this case. I'm just wondering, after seeing this clip, if Hank Yoo actually kicks Johnny Somali out of his house, will Johnny still stick to what he said in this video? Do you think he'll still be that confident? Do you believe the prosecutors will indeed share the positive news he is anticipating? Honestly, I really doubt the prosecutor will be on his side in the next trial. I'm not really sure if Hank is actually going to kick him out or not. At the end of the day, they're pretty much like a couple. Sure, couples can have their disagreements, but at the end of the day, they truly care for one another. Maybe they'll work things out, and the ego won't be an issue. Who really knows, right? That's what they do. I've got one thing I can promise you. Hank Yoo and Johnny Somali are soon going to find themselves in even deeper trouble. And everyone's going to see it. What are your thoughts on it? Do you believe Hank will actually ask Johnny Somali to leave his house? If that happens, what do you think Johnny Somali will do? I've got a question for you. Hey, if you came across Johnny Somali living on the streets, would you consider letting him crash at your place? Just give me a shout.